Hello people, this is Daniel here. I am reading more of this motherfucking book. Sorry I didn't record last night. I was busy. But there will be one tonight, and tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that. Here we go. Quenya race of the earth of Lovecraft's weird fiction is not solid, but hollow, at least in part. In the story The Mound, co-writer with Zeli Bishop, Lovecraft described three vast voids beneath the plains of Oklahoma, one above the other, the highest of the three, which is far below the surface of the ground, and is blue-lit. Kayin Yin is the great cavern, illuminated by a natural blue radiance that is so large the roof cannot be seen from the floor. Though the aerial glow, it is inhabited by a race of beings that somewhat resemble the Plains Indians, having having copper-colored skin and high cheekbones, but their heads are elongated. I can't spell. I can't fucking read for shit. So elongated. I don't fucking know. I fucking hate fucking reading. Whereas those of the Indians are round, and indeed the human race may be genetically related to them. Fucking hell. They were carried across the stars to our planet in the distant past by Cthulhu, who they continue to worship as a god along with the father of all serpents, Yig. Kinyin is connected to the surface by a number of narrow passages that exist the earth through ancient stone doorways. At one period in the distant past, the men of Kinyin colorized the surface, creating the civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria. But a great flood drove them back beneath the ground to their blue-lit home. They still occasionally appear near mounds that were erected at the doorways, to the bewilderment and terror of human beings who regard them as ghosts. This error is promulgated by the ability of men of Kinyin to project their images to a surface during their dreams, and to make their physical bodies in subtitle of ghost-like for their purpose of walking through walls or other solid barriers. But those most often glimpsed are the ones placed at sentries at the doorways to warn off curious human beings, or capture those who will not heed the warning. The local Wichita Indians who saw those apparitions called them those people, or the old people, or they who dwell below. Chief Gray Eagle of the Wichita specifically referred to them as the Old Ones. Here we encounter again the generic use of the term Old Ones in the Lovecraft's fiction to designate an ancient alien race. The race of Kayin are intelligently advanced. They are telepathy for communication, although they have not forgotten how to speak with their own voices. At one time, science was perfected to a high degree, but it was allowed to decay so that in our own period, they no longer use machines for transportation, but ride on the backs of genetically modified beasts known as Gaiathian, which are carnivorous quadrupeds. Fuck kind of words are this shit? With hairy backs, humanoid faces, and a single horn in their foreheads. Fuck kind of shit. Those disturbing creatures were bred from a generic hybrid of reptilian race of the red Lithian Yoth, combined with degenerated human beings captively bred by the race of Kinyan Yin for slave labor and as a food source. The habitations of Kinyan Yin have ceased to be souls. I fucking don't know. Intellectualists. I've never even fucking seen these words in my life. I'm not even in school. Never even fucking heard these words. Someone's coming down. Okay. Almost done here. Where the fuck did I leave off? Oh yeah, and have become sensualists who seek only physical and emotional stimulation to relieve the tedium of their endless lives, for they have defeated death and can live forever unless they grow so wary of it that they end their own existence. One of their amusements is to torture of their human slaves, which they do before large crowds. An enormous circular what the fuck is that? Amphitheaters? Amphitheaters? What fucking word is that? Similar to those at ancient Rome. When the slaves die from the mistreatment, they are transformed by the ancient sciences of the race into animated corpses and used for purpose of field labor. Two primary gods were worshipped by the copper-skinned men of Kinyan Yin. The octopus-headed Cthulhu, who carried their race across the stars to Earth. The Yig, the father of serpents. However, there are temples in Kinyan erected to Yig Tulu, Nog Yib, and the not to be named one. Okay. The local name for Cthulhu at one time, Cthulhu, fucking don't know that. The Toad God was worshipped in the form of black idols discovered in red. Fucking hell, it's so fucking hard to read, isn't it? Red Litton? Yes, the cavern world that lies immediately below in Kinyan Yin. The men of Kinyan Yin exploring the land of Yoth discovered the cult of Tizkathanuya, preserved in the vaults of Zin, chambers that lie beneath the largest ruin and nameless city of Yoth. They carried the black stone idols, the written scrolls of the cult to their own world, where it is waxed so greatly and properly that their capital city came to the call Tysoth, and horror of Taisaguya. They learned that the idols of Taisaguya were not native and a lost reptilian race of Yoth, but had been looted from the land of Nikai, which is called back Nikai because it has no natural illumination, just as the race of Kinyan had carried the idols up from Yoth. The race of Yoth had carried them up from Nikai, a cavern world below Yoth. When the men of Kinyan began to explore Enkai with their enormously powerful atomic searchlights, what they found caused them to seal up all the entrances to Enkai and destroy every trace of the Tizkathanuya, what the fuck does that even say, cult in their own land. Oh, that's giving me a headache. Okay. Discovered that Enkai was not deserted, but was inhabited by viscous beings of black ooze that moved by flowing along stone channels, and the terrible realization came to them that it was the looting of the idols of Taisaguya that had brought about the destruction of the reptilian race in the Red Lithian Yoth. The primary building metal used in Kinyan is gold, which they possess as great abundance. For their reason, they value it sacredly at all, but cherish a metal carried with them down from the stars that is magnet to itself, dark, molten, and lustrous. This was transported by the mighty Cthulhu across space in the form of various idols and cultic items. From one point to the history of Kinyan, some of the metal was minted into coins and used as the basis for the monetary system of the land. Those coins were around 2 inches in diameter. Oh shit! I can't fucking diameter. Jesus, fucking hell! I apologize. I know how to fucking say this words. I'm just having a hard time saying it for some stupid reason. Diameter, stamped with an image of the octopus head of Cthulhu on one side, and the serpent body of Yig on the other. Grey Eagle possessed one as a talisman. Tales of plentiful gold sometimes lure men to the mounds of the plains that mark the entries of the blue Lithian Kinyan, but those who find their way down the passages to the great cavern are never permitted to return to their own world. The insubstantial figures of the race of Kinyan are sometimes seen walking on those mounds at twilight, either projected there as images during dreams by the powerful telepathic minds of the cavern dwellers, or stationed there as guardians of the portals to the lower world. Those foolish enough to investigate these spectral sightings vanish without a trace. Place I ain't going. And that's it. The next one is called My Go. And I'm fucking hungry, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.